Hey YouTube universe, thank you for stopping by here. This is going to be a video for a contest entry that no other than the one and only Richard McCook is having, celebrating his 500 subs. Richard, I believe, is in Northern Ireland. Does amazing videos, amazing ranking videos, starts really great threads. And for the concept for his contest is to come up with a mixtape or an EP of 6 songs, kind of like a sampler of 6 songs for an EP sampler that someone can listen to that does not know anything about this band. One of the rules is that the sampler cannot have any of their singles has been released. So today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite bands of all time, one of the bands that has influenced me in a positive way and also that has made me be a better listener of the music I listen to. These guys are from New Jersey. They formed in 1998 and they were pioneers of the post-hardcore genre. So today I'm going to be talking about no more other than the band Thursday. This is their second album and it's probably the most influential of all of the albums I will be talking about today. This record came out in 2001. The band had done some singles and had released one debut album, the album Waiting, and they released this album on Big 3 Records, which they had just signed to the label. Amazing album, and it's credited to being one of the most influential for the post-hardcore genre. The band members really play very well together. Around this time I did get to see them live in 2001. It was a great opportunity to see them because I was really up close. They were playing at the Warped Tour and they had a small stage. Band is one of the bands that I do respect for their creativity, the way they write their lyrics. Jeff Rickley is a songwriter that I really respect. He is a poet. You can tell that he reads a lot of poetry and it's just a very intellectual person. So the first song on the sampler, I'm going to recommend the second to last song on this album called How Long Is the Night. So that's the first song that I would recommend for this sampler. If I can, I will try to put in little snippets of the introduction of each song if I can.
It's never over, and the ribbon was tied, the card was never read.
2 years go by and the band is touring and they end up signing to a major label. They end up signing to Island Records. And in Island Records, they released this album called War All the Time. Another spectacular album by them. Once they signed to Island Records, the song that they kind of chose for them is Signals Over the Air. And in my opinion, that's the worst song on this record. And I believe even the band, I remember reading some articles about the band not being happy with that song and kind of really regretting they put out that song. The record holds a really special place in my heart because I went through a lot of stuff during this time, and this was one of the records that kind of just helped me through that time. And one of the songs that I recommend out of this record would be song number 7, and the name of the song is The Song Brought to You by a Falling Bomb. Now this is a different approach for the band. It's just the piano playing, the keyboards playing, and then you have Rickley singing the song, and the song is only about a minute, but in that minute and some change, it is so powerful, such a powerful song. So I recommend this song to kind of give you the aspect of what this band can do in just such a short amount of time, and kind of being minimalist in what they can use in a song. 3 years go by and they are still signed to Island Records, and this is the final album that they release on a major label. They released this album called A City by the Light Divided. I remember buying this record out of Amoeba Records and going home and putting a CD in my CD player, and I was just blown away. The band is back with full energy and starts with a bang and ends beautifully with one of the songs that kind of revisits a song from their first studio album. On this album, the band approaches different song structures as far as instrumentation. You can kind of hear a little bit more of the guitar work, but simple guitar work on a few songs off this record. Off this record, they had one single. Again, I love this band. This is one of those bands that I don't skip any songs once I'm listening to the record, because every song is just beautiful. But there are two standout tracks on this album: Sugar in the Sacrament and Love Songwriter. So I'm gonna go with the Love Songwriter. It starts off with a minimalistic guitar work, but this song starts off pretty simple and then builds and builds and builds, and you get this beautiful orchestrated song at the end of the Love Songwriter. And another thing that stands out about this song is you can see Jeff Rickley's his storytelling and his songwriting. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Sitting.
3 more years go by and they sign to a different label, this time to the one and only probably worldly renowned punk label, Epitaph Records. They signed to Epitaph Records and they released this record, Common Existence. Some of the songs on here are inspired by books that Jeff has been reading. Also inspired by friends who have been in the army, who he has had very real conversations of disagreeing why they are serving in the army during the war that the US is in. For this album, I'm gonna recommend the song Time's Arrow, based on the book titled Time's Arrow. And this album kind of takes a little bit of a darker side as far as a little bit of the mood. The way they recorded this album is they wanted to have a sound of intimacy, of being recorded in a small room. And once you really listen to this record, you kind of get that feeling that it's being recorded in a small room. And the drums really feel different in this album.
Rain falls off the street.
2 years go by and Thursday release another record, and they announce that this is going to be their last record, and they take a long hiatus and a break. Basically they have a band breakup. Later on, about 10-12 years, they reunite for some reunion tours, and they've been doing that for a couple of years now. But they released this masterpiece called No Devolución. There's a couple of songs dedicated to people who have died in their lives. And for me, I believe this just ended their music career as a band with a bang. And the song I'm gonna recommend from this album is the last song, called Stay True. Stay True is a 7-minute plus song that just builds and builds, and that just leaves the fans with a beautiful message at the end of the album. and at the end of pretty much their band career. Beautiful, beautiful, and it's probably one of my favorite songs of all time. And to end this sampler, I'm gonna go back to their second release. Thursday is one of those bands that create an ambience through their music. Off this album, they have 2 tracks that kind of serve as bookends for the album. The first and the second, they're pretty much kind of instrumental ambient songs. So I'm gonna choose to end the sampler with the last track off this album called I-011. Kind of ends with that guitar work and ends with a little atmospheric, kind of leaving you wanting more, but yet kind of having a sense of that has something that has come to an end. Richard, hopefully this wasn't too long. I hope you enjoyed this sampler for Thursday. Hopefully you guys would check them out. They were pioneers of post-hardcore punk. God bless every one of you guys watching this video. Thank you for making it to the end. Be in peace with yourself, be in peace with others. God bless you, and I'll see you on the next one. Congratulations, Richard.